She was bullied, cornered, and outnumbered. Everyone thought she was weak, but they had no idea what she was capable of. In a split second, the hunted becomes the hunter, and the bullies realize too late that they picked the wrong girl to mess with. Stay tuned. The bathroom smelled like cheap air freshener and wet paper towels. It was the last place anyone wanted to be after school, especially not Tiana Brooks. But here she was, cornered for white boys, stood in front of her, blocking the only exit. Cameron Whitmore, the ringleader, leaned against the sink, arms crossed, a cocky smirk on his face. His three Sid kicks, Jace, Dylan, and Cole, stood beside him, grinning like wolves that had found a lone lamb. "You really think you belong here, huh?" Cameron sneered, stepping closer. "This school ain't for people like you." Tiana had heard those words too many times. Crescent Hills High was an elite private school in the wealthy suburbs of Atlanta. It was the kind of school where last names mattered more than grades, where legacy students, mainly white and rich, ruled the hallways like kings and queens. Tiana wasn't one of them. She was one of only 6 black students in the entire school. She had earned her place with straight A's and a scholarship, but to Cameron and his crew, she was an outsider. They had spent the last 6 months making sure she knew it. They shoved her books off her desk. They knocked into her in the hallways. They called her names when teachers weren't around. They made sure no one sat with her at lunch. And the worst part, the teachers didn't care. They looked the other way, pretended not to hear. But today was different. Today, the bullies had taken it too far. Tiana had stayed late after school, working on an extra credit project in the library. When she finally packed up and walked to the bathroom, she hadn't expected to be followed. She hadn't expected to be trapped. Cameron shoved himself off the sink and took another step forward. "What's wrong? Ain't got nothing to say." Jace laughed. "She's scared, man. Look at her." Tiana clenched her fists. She wasn't scared. She was furious. "Maybe we should teach her a lesson." Dylan suggested, cracking his knuckles. Cole nodded. "Yeah, make sure she remembers not to step out of line again. They thought she was weak. They thought she was just some nerdy black girl who wouldn't fight back." They had no idea. Tiana took a deep breath, her muscles coiling like a loaded spring. They saw her as prey, but they didn't know the truth. She was a fighter. She had been training in martial arts since she was 6 years old. Her father, a former Marine, had made sure she could handle herself. He taught her discipline, patience, and most importantly, how to fight when it mattered. And right now, it mattered. Cameron reached for her. Tiana exploded into motion with lightning speed. She grabbed his wrist, twisted it back, and drove her elbow into his gut. Cameron gasped, doubling over in pain before Jace could react. Tiana spun and delivered a side kick straight to his knee, sending him crashing to the floor. Dylan lunged at her. Tiana ducked, grabbed his collar, and used his own momentum to slam him head first into a stall door. He collapsed, groaning in pain. Cole stood, frozen in shock. He was the last one standing. His eyes darted from Cameron to Jace to Dylan, all groaning on the dirty tiled floor. Tiana took a step toward him. Cole turned and ran. The bathroom door flew open. 2 security guards stormed in their radios, cracked behind them. Principal Whitmore. Cameron's father pushed his way inside, his face twisted in anger. "What the hell is going on here?" he demanded. Cameron groaned from the floor. She attacked us," Tiana scoffed. "Oh, really? That's the story you're going with?" Whitmore's eyes narrowed. "My office now." Tiana wiped her hands on her jeans and walked past the groaning boys without a second glance. This wasn't over, not even close. Tiana sat in Principal Whitmore's office, her fists clenched in her lap. The air smelled like old books and expensive cigars, a sharp contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded in the bathroom across from her. Cameron sat hunched over, still holding his stomach. Jace, Dylan, and Cole had been taken to the nurse's office, but their bruised egos probably hurt more than their bodies. Principal. Whitmore leaned forward, his cold blue eyes locked onto Tiana. His face was red with fury. "Explain yourself." Tiana met his gaze without flinching. "I defended myself." Cameron let out a bitter laugh. "She attacked us. Attacked you." Tiana's voice was sharp. You and your little gang cornered me in the bathroom. What was I supposed to do, stand there and let you hit me? Whitmore's jaw tightened. He knew she was telling the truth, but admitting it would mean holding his own son accountable, and that was something he wasn't about to do. "You're suspended," he said finally. His voice like steel effective immediately. Tiana's stomach dropped. "Suspended for what defending myself," she demanded. "This school has a zero-tolerance policy for violence," Whitmore said coldly. "No exceptions." Tiana gritted her teeth. "So let me get this straight. You ignored months of bullying, let them corner me, and now you're punishing me because I didn't let them hurt me." Cameron smirked. He knew his father had his back. Whitmore sighed as if he was the one dealing with a headache. "I don't make the rules, Miss Brooks." Tiana shot to her feet. "No, you just bend them for people like your son?" Whitmore's eyes darkened. "Watch your tone." Tiana grabbed her backpack and slung it over her shoulder. "Nah, watch yours." She stormed out of the office, her heart pounding with anger. "Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this." Tiana's mother, Lisa Brooks, was already waiting in the front office when she arrived. She had been called to pick up her daughter, and the look on her face said everything. "Tiana, what happened?" she asked, concern laced in her voice. Tiana exhaled sharply. "Cameron and his crew jumped me in the bathroom. I fought back. Now I'm the one getting punished." Lisa's eyes darkened. "Where is the footage?" she asked the receptionist. The woman hesitated. "Principal," Whitmore said. Lisa cut her off. "I don't care what Whitmore said. I want to see the security footage." The receptionist fidgeted. "It seems the camera in the bathroom hallway weren't working today." Lisa let out a cold laugh, convenient, but then another voice spoke up. "I saw everything." Tiana turned. It was Maria Gonzalez, a senior who worked as an office assistant. She stepped forward nervously. "I saw the security feed before they erased it." Tiana's telling the truth. Tiana's heart raced. "Wait, you saw it." Maria nodded, and I recorded it. She pulled out her phone and played the video. There it was clear as day, Cameron and his friends cornering Tiana, shoving her laughing, then her fighting back. Lisa grabbed the phone. "We're taking this to the school board, H." By the next morning, the video had gone viral. Social media exploded. Parents, students, and even local news stations picked up the story. Justice for Iana started trending, and the school found itself under a microscope. Whitmore tried to control the damage, but it was too late. His own son had exposed the school's racism. By noon, the school board held an emergency meeting. Cameron and his friends expelled. Principal Whitmore forced to resign, and Tiana, her suspension was overturned. She walked back into Crescent Hills High with her head held high as she stepped into the hallway. Students whispered. Some looked guilty. Others gave her nods of respect. Maria ran up to her. "You did it?" Tiana smiled. "No, we did it." She wasn't just a scholarship student anymore. She wasn't just a black girl in a white school. She was a warrior, and Crescent Hills High would never be the same again. Justice was served, but the fight against racism isn't over. If you believe in standing up for what's right, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going.